Hi friends, welcome back. Today I am discussing certain problems related with the liquids. Our first question. Atmospheric pressure is known to be 76 centimeter of mercury. If water is used instead of mercury, the atmosphere barometric height would be. We want to find out the barometric height if the mercury is replaced by water. Okay. What's the equation to find out the atmospheric pressure? P is equal to, okay, equation pressure P is equal to H rho G. This is the equation used. Okay, then pressure exerted by the mercury column, which is equal to pressure exerted by the water. Okay, pressure exerted by mercury, okay, H mercury into rho mercury into G, that is equal to H water into rho water, density of water into G. G get cancelled. Then H mercury is equal to 76 centimeter. Then 76 into 10 raised to minus 2 into density of mercury. Density of mercury is 13.6 into 10 raised to 3. Okay, this is the density of mercury. That is equal to, we want to find out the height of water, H water, into density of water. Density of water is equal to 1000. Okay. Then we can cancel 10 raised to 3 into 1000. Okay. Then 76 into 10 raised to minus 2 into 13.6. That's equal to HW. 76 into 10 raised to minus 2 into 13.6 equal to H water, height of water level. Then H water is equal to, on solving this, H water, okay, height of water, which is equal to 10.33. Okay, 10.33 meter is the height of the water level if we use water instead of mercury. Okay, the atmospheric pressure is known to be 76 centimeter of mercury. That is, in barometer we use mercury column to find out the atmospheric pressure. If mercury is replaced by water, then what about the barometric height? Okay, that's our question. The barometric height now will becomes equal to, if we use water instead of mercury, barometric height is equal to 10.33 meter. Okay. Next question, an air bubble is released from the bottom of a pond and is found to expand to twice its original volume as it reaches the surface. Okay, here a bubble which is released from the bottom of the pond, when it reaches the top of the pond or when it reaches the surface of the pond, its volume rises to twice, okay, twice as the original volume. Okay, volume at the top is equal to, volume at the top is equal to twice as the volume at the bottom. Okay, if the atmospheric pressure is 1 atmosphere, okay, atmospheric pressure is 1 atmosphere, pressure at the bottom of the lake is, okay, here we can use the equation P1 V1 is equal to, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay, that is pressure at the top into volume at the top is equal to pressure at the bottom into volume at the bottom. Okay, here pressure at the top, that is the atmospheric pressure, then 1 atmosphere, 1 into volume at the top. Volume at the top is equal to twice the volume at the bottom, that is 2 times VB. That is equal to pressure at the bottom into volume at the bottom. Volume at the bottom, VB get cancelled. Then pressure at the bottom is equal to, pressure at the bottom is equal to 2. Okay, 2 atmosphere. 2 atmosphere is the pressure at the bottom of the lake. Okay. Next question. Radius of the air bubble becomes twice when it rises the surface of a lake from the bottom. Okay. Radius of the bubble is twice when it rises to the surface. Okay, to the surface of a lake from the bottom. If the atmospheric pressure is equal to that of the column of water of height is equal to 2000 centimeter. Depth of the lake is. We want to find out the depth of the lake. For this, two criteria are given. Radius of the air bubble becomes twice when it rises to the surface of the lake. Okay. From that sentence, we can write or we can find out what about the pressure at the bottom. Pressure at the bottom. Okay. Pressure at the bottom into volume at the bottom, which is equal to pressure at the top into volume at the top. Okay. From the first sentence, we can write the equation P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay. Similarly, PB VB is equal to PT VT. Okay. Pressure. Okay. The radius of the air bubble becomes twice when it rises to the surface of the lake from the bottom. That means, what about the volume? If the radius becomes twice, then the volume becomes 8 times, because we know that the equation connecting radius and volume V is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, so the volume becomes 8 times. Okay. Then, what about the volume at the top? Volume at the top is equal to 8 times volume at the bottom. Okay. Volume at the top is equal to 8 times volume at the bottom. Okay. Then, what about the pressure? Pressure at the top, that's equal to atmospheric pressure. Okay, P atmosphere. Then, PB into VB. Okay, PB into VB is equal to P atmosphere into 8 into VB. We can cancel VB. Then P bottom. Okay, pressure at the bottom is equal to 8 times the pressure atmosphere. Okay, this is the value we get from the first sentence. Okay, then if the atmospheric pressure is equal to that of column of water of height 2000 centimeter. Okay, from this sentence, we can find out what about the pressure, atmospheric pressure. P atmosphere is equal to that of column of water of height 2000 centimeter. Okay. Here we can use the equation P is equal to H rho G to find out the atmospheric pressure. Okay. P atmosphere is equal to H rho G, that is equal to 2000 centimeter, that is equal to 20 meter. 2000 centimeter is equal to 2000 into 10 raised to minus 2, that's equal to 20 meter. Okay, so 20 into rho into G. Okay, so 20 rho G is the P atmosphere. Okay, now we got the values of pressure at the bottom and the atmospheric pressure. Okay, then by writing the equation, what about the pressure at the bottom? Pressure at the bottom, which is equal to atmospheric pressure. P at the bottom is equal to P atmosphere plus pressure due to the liquid column, that is equal to H rho G. Okay, we know that equation, pressure at the bottom is equal to, total pressure at the bottom is equal to pressure due to atmosphere plus pressure due to the water column. Okay, then what about PB? PB is equal to 8 times P atmosphere. 8 times P atmosphere, that is equal to P atmosphere plus H rho G. Then 8 P atmosphere minus P atmosphere is equal to 7 times P atmosphere. 7 times P atmosphere, which is equal to H rho G. Okay, we already found out that P atmosphere is equal to 20 rho g. Then on substituting that value here, 7 into 20 into rho into g, that is equal to h rho g. Okay. From here we can cancel rho g. Then height h is equal to 7 into 20. 7 into 20 is equal to 140. Okay, 140 meter. Okay, then what about the depth of the lake? Depth of the lake is equal to 140 meter. Okay, here we want to find out what about the depth of the lake. For this we can use the equation pressure at the bottom is equal to atmospheric pressure plus h rho g. Okay, atmospheric pressure is equal to 20 times rho g. That is obtained from the second statement. If the atmospheric pressure is equal to that of column of water of height to 2000 centimeter. Okay, 2000 centimeter means 20 meter. So 20 into rho g. Okay, P atmosphere is equal to 20 rho g. Okay. Then P atmosphere value is known. Then what about the pressure at the bottom and atmosphere? What about the relation between pressure at the bottom and atmospheric pressure? Pressure at the bottom is equal to 8 times P atmosphere. Okay. And this value which is obtained from the first statement, radius of the air bubble become twice when it rises to the surface of the lake. Okay. Then we can use the equation PB, VB is equal to pressure at the bottom into volume at the bottom is equal to pressure at the top into volume at the top. Okay, we know that the equation for the volume is equal to, okay, in the case of air bubble, it is spherical in shape, so we can use volume V is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, when the radius becomes doubled, then the volume becomes 8 times. Okay, then Vt is equal to volume at the top is equal to 8 times the volume at the bottom. On cancelling VB, we got PB is equal to pressure at the bottom is equal to 8 times the pressure, atmospheric pressure. Okay. Then on substituting that values PB and P atmosphere in this equation, we got the value of the depth of the lake as 140 meter. Okay. Next question. In a hydraulic lift, the area of cross sections of the two pistons are in the ratio 1:40. Okay, area of cross sections are in the ratio that is given. It's equal to 1:40. The applied force and the load overcome will be in the ratio. We want to find out the ratio of their forces. Okay, applied force and the load overcome. Okay. According to Pascal's law, we know that pressure is equally distributed in all directions. So, here pressure is a constant. Okay, pressure is equal to a constant. Pressure is equal to a constant. So, we can write F1 divided by A1. Okay, F1 by A1 is equal to F2 divided by A2. Okay, F1 is taken as the applied force and F2 is taken as the load overcome. Okay, then F1 by F2 is equal to, okay, from here, what about F1 by F2? F1 by F2 is equal to A1 divided by A2. A1 by A2. A1 by A2 is given. Okay, the ratio of area of cross sections of the two pistons are given here. That's equal to 1:40. Then 1 by 40. 1 by 40. Then what about the ratio of the force, applied force and load overcome? Applied force and load overcome will be in the ratio 1:40. Okay, F1 is to F2 is equal to 1:40. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, next question. If the thrust at the base of the cylinder is thrice the thrust on the side walls, height of the cylinder is, we want to find out the height of the cylinder. Okay, for this thrust on the base of the cylinder which is equal to thrice the thrust acting on the side walls. Okay, Here also we can use the formula F1 divided by A1 is equal to F2 by A2. F1 by A1 is equal to F2 by A2. Okay. What about the area of the base of the cylinder? Area of the base of the cylinder is equal to pi r square because it is circular in shape. So we can write A1 is equal to pi r square. Okay. A1 which is equal to pi r square. Then what about the area of the side walls? It's curved surface area. Curved surface area of the cylinder, that is equal to pi r l. Okay, A2 is equal to, okay, A2 is equal to pi r l or pi r h. H is the height of the cylinder. Pi r h. A1 is equal to pi r square and A2 is equal to pi r h. Okay. Then what about F1 and F2? The thrust at the side, at the base of the cylinder is 3 times the thrust at the side walls. Okay, thrust at the base of the cylinder, which is equal to F1 is equal to 3 times the thrust at the side walls. Okay, F1 is equal to 3 times F2. Okay, now we can substitute these values in this equation. That is, F1 is equal to 3F2 divided by, what about area A1? That is equal to pi r square, which is equal to 3, what about F2 is equal to F2 itself, F2 divided by A2 is equal to pi r h. Okay, now we can cancel F2, okay, F2 from here, pi r, then 3 by r is equal to 1 by h, then h is equal to r by 3. Okay, then height of the cylinder is equal to r by 3. Okay, 1 by 3rd of the radius of the cylinder. Okay, that's the answer. Then our next question. In a hydraulic lift, the area of cross sections of the large and small pistons are 2000 centimeter square and 20 centimeter square. Area of cross sections are given. Find the force applied on the small piston to lift the mass of 3000 kg with the larger piston. Okay, the force which is applied, okay, on the larger piston, which is corresponding to the mass 3000 kg. Okay. Then we can write what about A1? A1 represents the small piston, that is A1 is equal to 20 centimeter square. We want to find out the force acting on the smallest piston, that is F1 is not known. We want to find out that. Then what about A2? A2 is equal to 2000 centimeter square. And what about F2? F2 is equal to, F2 is the force corresponding to 3000 kg, that is 3000. Okay, force is equal to mg. Then it's equal to 3000 into g. G is taken as 10. Okay, then F2 is equal to 3000 into 10. Now we can write the equation. F1 by A1 is equal to, F1 divided by A1 is equal to F2 divided by A2. Okay. Here F1 is the force which is applied on the small piston. A1 is its area of cross section. F2 is the force on the larger piston. And A2 is the area of cross section. Okay, A2 is the area of cross section of the larger piston. Then on applying these values, F1, we want to find out F1, then F1 divided by, what about A1? A1 is equal to 20 centimeter square. Okay, 20. That is equal to F2. F2 is equal to 3000 into 10. Okay, divided by, what about A2? A2 is equal to 2000. Okay. On solving, okay, F1 is equal to 3000 into 10, 3000 into 10 into 20 divided by 2000. Okay, 20 cancel to this, then it becomes equal to 100. Then 100 cancel to 3000, then it becomes equal to 300. Okay, F1 is equal to 300. Okay, force acting on the small piston, which is equal to 300 Newton. 300 Newton is the force which is acting on the small piston. Okay, here also we can use the Pascal's law. Pressure exerted on the surface of the liquid is equally transmitted in all directions. Okay, so F1 by A1 is equal to F2 by A2. Then F1 is equal to, okay, on substituting the values of A2, A1 and F2, we got the answer as 300 Newton. Okay, I think these questions are clear for you. If you like this video, please subscribe and enable the bell button.